I can figure if I can record this. Let's record now. All right, wow. So this is our first stream for The Flame, episode 1. The thing is, I don't know where I can see the viewers. Okay, there we go. 0 views. Awesome.
Oh, you can see?
Yeah,
Yes,
it takes a timer here, but so far there's 0 views. But usually for my Instagram, usually for my live on Instagram, I always wait till there's at least 5 people or viewers because I don't like talking to myself with 0 views.
Makes sense.
But I guess I can wait a second because this might not be the best day to go live because of the voting, but let's see what happens.
Sure.
Let's see here. Okay, whatever. All right, so this is finally welcome to episode 1 of The Flame. I'm the host, Jeremy, aka HeatCulture, who's partnered with 5 Reasons Sports. This is my teammate, Sahil. Sahil, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. And so Miami's off to a pretty rough start, 4 of 7, with Butler averaging 20.9 points and Hero at 19.6. And this is not the ideal start where Heat fans would have wanted, especially, the schedule we've had. So just give me your thoughts on this rough start.
Yeah, where to begin, right? Injuries have definitely played a big part in this. We just talked about Oladipo. Our roster, I don't think, has been at full 100% strength since the season started, really. So kind of finding our footing has been an issue. I also want to say that I think the last 3 games we played has been within a few points. Like I think we really, like for example, last night I think we played well, lost the game. I think that has happened a few times where we play well, we stick to our values in terms of our defense and switching and all that, but we still end up losing because of some last minute nonsense. I think overall, our biggest change, right, has been Tyler in the starting lineup. And I'm not too convinced if that helps our first initial offense as much as we thought it would. I think it's a bit underwhelming with him at the 2, not necessarily his production, but our overall offense when he is at the 2 in the starting 2. I think it's a bit underwhelming, but I don't know. What do you think?
You see, at first I was okay with Hero starting because, all offseason he's been wanting to start. You saw how he deserves the 6th man of the year from last season. So I thought him starting would actually help us a lot. But the way we ended last season with Strus at the 2 and seeing how well yes, we had Tucker at the 4. But, I think, yes, Hero deserves to start. But I want to see him maybe one game come off the bench with Strus starting just to see how our team plays out. Because our team right now at home, we're 3-4 at home, and we're only 1-3 away. So I'm not sure exactly if the issue is with Hero at the 2, or if it's Martin at the 4. Maybe we need a new 4, which everyone's been debating about. But I don't know. Eric Spoelstra loves to, do these experiments with lineups. So I'm trying to get the idea of what our best possible lineup could be if it's not Lowry, Hero, Butler, Martin, and Bam. Because 4 of 7 starts, maybe the issue's somewhere in the lineup. And we got Depot who's injured, who knows when he's going to come back with his knee soreness and Yurt with his ankle. This team just, I don't know, something missing,
Yeah, definitely.
And just yesterday I was talking with a friend of who are possible replacements, at the starting 4. And in the group chat, there's been plenty of mention, I don't know why, but plenty of mention of Carmelo Anthony at the 4, Miles Turner. Yeah. I got plenty of Miles Turner. Let's see, John Collins, obviously.
Yeah.
And
go ahead. JC, John Collins, and Miles Turner, I think, are a bit out of our even realm of possibilities at this point. I think we are forced for the Jay Crowders, the Carmelo Anthonys, the guys who are just like not really on a team right now. I think Miles Turner, that ship has sailed. Money, I don't even know if we want to give him the bag. I guess we could trade salaries, throw Duncan in there.
As far as salary, that's what my co-owner would be here for because he knows a lot more about that than I do.
Okay, gotcha.
So
yeah, all I know is we're already paying a lot for
Yeah, I mean,
mediocre production, I would say.
yeah. I mean, a poll on my story that Miles Turner got a lot more votes though than John Collins. I can see why. He's a big. He can really space the floor. He can shoot a 3-pointer. I mean, just imagine Bam at the 4 possibly, have Miles at the 5.
Yeah,
Just thinking about that gets me going.
Yeah, right. And then Jimmy at the 3 playing the kind of runaround position.
And just yesterday, Miles Turner put up like 37 points,
37,
and and 12 rebounds. What's up, Nathan?
And
my brother
awesome
joined the stream.
Nice.
The chat.
Cool. Yeah, I see that.
He thinks we should put Max starting. Besides that, as we all know, the trade before. Yes, as I said, I do believe Max should start at least one game and Hero off the bench, even though we have Depot also on the bench. But who knows if Depot will be still with us after February, the trade deadline.
Oh yeah.
We have no idea if he's going to be with us or someone else, because he had the option of signing with DC for more money, but he chose to come back here for lesser money off the bench role. Depot.
Yeah.
So just because of that proves that he's loyal and wants to prove that he has a chance, and he believes he has a decent role as a 6th man for the Heat. But I'm not seeing it happen if he's going to be constantly not playing.
I fully agree. And let me ask you this: Do you think Pat's mindset of having, we have a lot of guards, we have a lot of perimeter players who shoot, who are playmakers. Do you think he's just keeping these guys on the team to boost their value to make a trade? Or do you think he really believes in these guys, that Strus and Duncan can be 40% plus three-point shooters? Tyler can get close.
Right. Well, the fact that our team has 10 undrafted players tells me that Miami is just the kind of team who looks like just collects players like gems from the Ducks. We're not the kind of team who loves or have interest in drafting players, even though that's what I love to do, because the whole event, like who we're drafting, whatever. But the fact that we have half the team undrafted, and that we were first place last season, also with our bench carrying us. So Pat's mindset of getting undrafted players, to me, is both a very fascinating thing and a very kind of dull thing, because, like I said, we're like the only team to have this many players undrafted, and it just shows how much dedication these players have to bear the craft and to get to the league of notice.
Yeah.
Especially players like.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, especially players like who?
So like Vincent. Was Caleb Martin? Was he drafted? Caleb Martin, or was he undrafted? I don't remember that part.
I think he was drafted, but to a different team.
Well, just an example, if Vincent all of a sudden drafted of Strus, Caleb Martin, I don't remember if he was or not. I feel bad about not knowing that.
Yeah.
You have I gotta put up the roster real quick even. So yeah, again, Strus, Vincent, Ducky Robinson, Drew Smith, Haslam.
UD. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like a lot of our team players. I mean, yes, you have Bam, who's obviously drafted. Laurie. You have Devin. Was he drafted? Devin? I don't remember.
Was drafted.
He was drafted?
Sure Devin was drafted, yeah.
Jovic was drafted, and Highsmith undrafted. So half the team we have a good amount of undrafted and drafted players. And the fact that we were first place last season tells the league what kind of team we are and like how we work.
Yeah, I think. Parts of me is like I believe in the philosophy. I believe in the strategy of the grit and grind. We have two different philosophies. I think we go the undrafted route. We want to save our money, harbor our value, like boost our assets. Right. And then on the other side, we're paying Kyle Lowry $30 million a year. I think that's fair in a situation where your star player can get you there, which I think we are. I think we're certain that Jimmy Butler can do his job in getting us deep. So that $30 million to Kyle doesn't really matter. But when we reach a point where our undrafted value starts to decline. At some point it is. The value of all of our undrafted players are going to decline
Right.
at a certain point, strictly for the fact that because it was low and then it went high. And now it's here. It's going to have to go down at some point. Like
I mean,
it's not sustainable what they're doing,
right.
especially the minutes they're getting.
I mean, especially the fact that they, with us starting off this rough, it does put their names out a lot lower than what it was before. Because if the Heat were like the Jazz, freaking 9-3, then these objective players will have their names out a lot more often. But the fact that we're 4-7, it's that these players are kind of like hiding. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Like Juice has been possibly our new six-man of the year. It's averaging 14 points a game. 14 points a game. Bam, he is not really exceeding my expectations because I thought he'd be averaging like about 22 points a game because we both know that he's able to average that or a lot more with his skills and ability. But he's only averaging 17.7 points a game. And Hero, not surprised, 19.6. But Lowry is a surprise, kind of, 13.4 points per game. Because I feel like if we had, the Lowry from Toronto, which obviously was years ago, if we had the Lowry who, like the championship version of Lowry, I feel like he could be averaging around Bam's average, 17 points, if that's possible.
Yeah. Yep. And I think I saw some stats. See, this is where percent of 3 points taken versus other shots. Like your percentage, how many threes do you think take compared to everything else, other shots you take? And I think Kyle Lowry was in the top 5 of percentage for that. Like his percentage of threes, like he takes more threes of his whole shot arsenal than most other players in the league. And so my questioning is, that's his. I think it's very clear. I think he made a comment saying, "Yeah, I want the ball more in my hands." Not verbatim that, but he kind of suggested it.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been shooting, fairly decent from three. He makes a couple a game. Do you think if Gabe Vincent, right, straight up swap, Gabe Vincent starts, do you think Gabe Vincent can get 13 points a game for you? I don't know about the assist numbers. I don't know about the defense.
Right.
I mean, Kyle Lowry's assist numbers aren't crazy this year, but
I mean, it depends who's with him. To me, it depends who's with him on the court. Because if you have people who can't really, do as much playmaking as Vincent or as much shooting that Vincent can do, he might have the ball a lot more. But if it's Hero with Vincent, or if it's like, let's say if it's Vincent, Hero, Strus, Martin, and Bam, I could see Hero and Strus having the ball slightly a little bit more, even though Vincent would be the starting point guard. But if we have almost non-shooters on the court with Vincent as the starting point guard, I can see Vincent with the ball in his hands a lot more because we know he can shoot. We saw last night.
Yeah, and he's willing to. Of course, Kyle is, but I think Gabe's willingness to attack a lot. Gabe, when he attacks, he's not strictly because when Kyle goes, it looks like he's kind of off balance and then dishes it out. He's good at that. He's really good at it.
Exactly.
He's of the best. But Gabe feels a little bit more in control when he's in the lane. He can kind of get that little jumps, a little pull up from like 5-7 feet out. Kyle Lowry just doesn't really look to score when he's in that position. He looks to get fouled, of course. He's Kyle Lowry, but I think Gabe's mindset is a bit different. Is a bit of a change, and I have no issue with Pat completely screwing with the lineup. I don't give a shit that we're paying him $30 million a year. We can try him off in the bench. We have nothing to lose at this point. Let's boost Gabe's value. Let's see what's going on. All right, let's take some shots.
Right. I mean, just like you said, Vincent, whenever he drives to the paint, he does have more control. And what I noticed is that he has more speed, I think.
Yeah.
Like depends who he's doesn't matter who guards him. Like because he's small, has more speed, he's able to find different ways to the basket, even though he might get blocked or fouled, doesn't matter. But just the one thing I noticed is that his speed helps him get to the basket. Like you saw last night, gets him to the foul line. Like I think it was closing too, right?
Gabe?
Yeah, was he closing?
Until like the last few minutes, I think.
Yeah. And also when it comes to Lowry, he's like the faster version of Whiteside. He's big, but he's fast, kind of fast, but like he does almost fall whenever someone like banks it in towards the paint, and that's the problem because all offseason his plan was to lose weight, have more
Yeah.
control, and whenever he has room in the paint to make an easy floater, he's looking for shooters. Like
Yep.
he's like Bam Adebayo. Whenever he has an open space around him, he's always still looking for a shooter for pick and roll. I'm every time. Ask my doormate. I'm yelling at my screen for Bam to be aggressive or
Oh
to
yeah.
take that
Oh
mid-range shot. Because
yeah.
we know what we can do.
Let's talk about Bam a little bit. I think that's
Oh
a
yes, let's do it.
different conversation we should be having. I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts on Bam this season?
Um, well, Bam Adebayo, first of all, again deserves the Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion, especially last season.
Sure. I mean,
But
yeah.
but again, we're only 11 games in. There's a whole more to go.
Mm-hmm.
But this man, when I watch him, it looks like he has just issues being aggressive. Like I'm not seeing get to the paint or just to be the Bam, from the bubble against the Celtics. I want to see that Bam. Maybe because it was in the bubble, the environment was different. I don't know, but he's a pro. He's in the NBA for a reason. He's in the Heat for a reason. And only 70 points a game, he's not really exceeding my expectations because Bam is not really being the Bam I wanted to see so far.
I 100% agree. I felt the same way after last season too. I know we went deep last season, but I think it was part of top down where the leadership was saying our offense is not Bam Adebayo right now. Our
Right.
offense is Jimmy Butler. Our offense is getting open threes. They didn't even want to run their offense through Tyler because he was off the bench. But like our main offense is Jimmy Butler driving and kicking to Strus, to Duncan, to Gabe, to Kyle, whatever. That was like our go-to for a bucket. Doesn't whether or not that works is a different discussion. But especially after last year, when we heard Pat Riley in his press conference say he wants Bam to take more shots.
Exactly.
He called it out specifically. He wants Kyle Lowry to be in shape. So now it's been the attention has shifted from, okay, maybe it's not the Heat's goal to have Bam get this many shots. Then we learned it is the Heat's goal. Pat Riley just said it. And now we're into the season. The first couple of games of the season in the first quarter, Bam was attacking. Eight field goals in like the first quarter, just going. And, that's fun to see, but he was missing them. He was missing a lot of easy bunnies. He was missing.
Yeah.
He has this thing when he's like 5-7 feet away from the rim, he'll shoot it like it's a jump shot. He'll shoot it like this instead of like when you see someone like Joel or someone cutting in the lane, like moving like that, they'll float it up there. They'll give it a little bit of touch to it. And I haven't seen Bam with that touch. I know he's strong. I know he's got good feet work and post moves, but that touch, right around the rim, I think he sometimes get confused. Do I go to the mid range? He knows he has a decent elbow jab step mid range, or do I go straight to the basket, get a foul, and that's it? I think he gets kind of confused between the two, and maybe it just takes time. Like we're giving him the keys to the offense. Like it's going to take at least a few months. It's only been 7 games, but I think we're starting to learn that even if it is the Heat's goal to get him the ball more, it might not be the way we get our bucket. We're still looking in the fourth quarter. How do we get our bucket when the game gets tight? At this point, it's still Jimmy Butler driving and kicking. But I think we've discovered that the Bam solution isn't going to solve all offensively. Defensively, a different question. He's the best. Right. He can save us on defense as long as he's the only player out there. But offensively, I think we've learned a little bit over the past 2 years that he's not the offensive player we thought he was.
Right. I mean, I didn't notice in the preseason. Again, it was the preseason, but I think he attempted a few 3-pointers, which is a start. So I don't care. I mean, this is just me, obviously my opinion, but I don't care if he even attempts 2 threes a game. Just imagine the spacing and just how his game could evolve just by attempting 3-pointers. Because
dude, Dwayne Dedman's shooting threes. Like it's not that.
Yeah.
Bam can do it.
I mean, I just don't see why Bam's afraid to just shoot, because Butler's even wanting him to shoot. Lowry, even behind the scenes, Hero's mentioning a few times, but mostly Butler and Lowry. But I'm just not sure why he's hesitating.
Yeah,
from threes or just being aggressive.
I think he's been in the league for some time, but I really do believe he's still figuring out his offensive game. Like you put him on like some trash team like the Magic or whatever, some garbage team, he could be he can look like bring up the ball, get a ball screen, and go to the cup. I really do believe that and make a pass. And he can look like a freak. But in this specific environment where our best player can't really shoot threes, so it's kind of congested in the paint.
I mean, he can shoot threes if he wants to. If he
Yeah.
truly has to, he will make them.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's not afraid to shoot him. We know that.
Right. Like,
But
especially on one leg.
yeah, he loves those. He loves the fadeaway one
I
leg in the
hate those
corner.
so much.
And man, at this point, I'll let him do whatever he
Yeah,
wants.
I'll take anything at this point.
Like that shot against the Celtics, in the moment, I'm like, what are you doing? What are
Oh
you
my
doing?
god.
But as soon as he shot it, I'm like, what else do you want from the guy? Like what, get fouled and go to the overtime and do this whole thing when he has 40 points.
Right.
Like, I trust you, bro. I trust you. You're not going out for us to lose.
Just a few minutes ago, speaking of Dedmon, just give me your thoughts on Dedmon real quick, because he's been up and down a lot.
Yeah. I remember a couple of years ago, I think last year or the year before, I was like, Dedmon's our guy. We need rebounding numbers. We need Bam. We need help. And then Dedmon comes and, he puts up rebounds. He can't move. His legs are stiff. And I think that's coming to light this year a lot. Teams are really going for him. They didn't do that last year. They're aiming for Dedmon. They're putting him in the pick and roll, and his legs are just like trying to keep up with everyone else, and it's just not moving up. And the thing that upsets me the most, not the most, that also upsets me, he's not a roll threat. As in when he gets in the roll, he can't make that pass. But to make that pass, you gotta catch the ball, bro. Like, maybe this is early in the season. This is me just like picking at his turnovers, but grab the ball, come down with it. Sometimes he'll get it, and then as he's coming down, they get knocked out, or he'll catch it too low, it'll bounce off his knee.
Yeah.
And there's just that lack of mobility. Look, I shoot threes, dude. If you need to stay on the floor, like, go ahead, shoot your threes. I'm not pissed when you take them. I'm personally not pissed when anyone on this team shoots a three. Really, I'm totally okay with that, because when we make them, we make them. We really can like, kill you by the three. But Dedmon's not going to stay on the court because of threes. We know that. That's like he unless he shoots ridiculous. But I think defensively, he's a serious liability. He's not getting us the rebounds we thought he would. We're still of the worst rebounding teams in the league. But he adds size. He's a body, and when Bam needs to go out, we can have him in there for 5 minutes, 6 minutes. That's I'm stretching it too, but he's a good body. I think Yurt is better. I've thought that since that summer league he played in last year, when he was just absolutely hooping. I think he won like 27 and 12, like just obscene numbers. Like,
he was a beast.
Offensively, Yurt is like really good, really good. Again, we haven't seen him be challenged defensively, really.
Right.
So that's what I'm really excited when Yurt starts, tapping on the shoulder of Dedmon, being like, I'm going to take your playing time. Who's going to come out with that? Do we make a trade, or do we let them compete till one of them's better? I think it's an interesting problem to have, but Dedmon is not exactly our option.
I mean, especially on defense, he tries to be handsome. He tries to commit also charging fouls, like, but that alone he can't do. I mean, it works sometimes, but now just leave it to Haslam. Leave it to almost everyone else on the team. Just what I want to see from Dedmon is just help rebounding, help with the pick and rolls, and just attempt threes, man. Those are especially the rebounding. I want him to help us with that the most, because yes, Miami, like, I have a picture here. Like, Miami, like, as we all know, unfortunately, we are 4-7, 12th place. We are 21st in offensive rating, 17th in defensive rating. We are 23rd in pace, 13th in assist to turnover ratio, 30th in block shots per game, and a lot more. Like, the one good thing I see in this list, we are first in free throw percentage. First. Other than that, everything else is like the bottom. And that shows on our record and on our team out there in the court. And it hurts to watch right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, I'm not sure, like, is the problem actually Tucker leaving us, or Martin at the 4, Hero at the 2. Like I'm trying to figure out what the exact issue is, or maybe it's the coaching plan, the game plan. Like I don't know, like
Yeah.
what changed.
Well, let me ask you, I guess, before we head out here.
Yeah.
Right now, Jimmy is the offense, right? I think
Right.
this is an issue whenever we get into late game situations. Like we'll beat teams up in the first half. First quarter, we can come out. If we come out kicking, doesn't mean we're going to win the game because we always give it up, but we can really bust your ass
Right.
in the first quarter,
Right.
honestly. Second half, fourth quarter, last half of the fourth quarter, what do you do, right? If you're the coach, is it Jimmy drive kick? Is that the answer? Because we've seen Tyler get an option. He hit the game. They ran an ISO for Tyler against the Kings straight up, and I think the next night he had an awful step back three to try to win the game. I think
Yeah.
but
I
you
mean,
take some, you win some, you lose some. So my
yeah.
question, like, do you give Tyler the keys now and let him mess around early in the season to if we lose, we lose. It's not the end of the world in the early season. Or do we just stick with Jimmy, ride the tires till it falls off? What do you
I
think?
mean, the fact that we're still just 11 games in, I wouldn't mind seeing. I mean, again, Butler and Hero are together in the court for the lineup, so I wouldn't mind seeing Hero with the ball. Only because I want to see how he's improved. I want to see his ways of going to the basket, drawing fouls. Just I want to see how much he worked on over the summer, and if that doesn't work, there's always I don't know what I'm saying this. There's always Duncan, Struz. We have other shooters in this team, but if Hero wants the key and wants to be a starter, I want to see that. Like yes, I mean his stats again 19.6. That's pretty good, but there's still like his issues are towards late games scenarios when it comes to making
Yes,
plays. I
100%.
mean, as far as late games, if Butler's playing, give the ball to Butler. Let him get
Mm-hmm.
the foul, go to the foul line, mid-range shots, layups. He has the muscle. He's a vet. He knows what he's doing. Maybe Bam and Laurie. But for now, I would give it to Butler to try to win the game. Like last night, how he tried.
Yeah.
Strus without game winning. That what I thought would be the overtime 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. But I mean, we're only 11 games in, so I wouldn't mind seeing Hero try, but with help on the court who knows how to get to the basket and score the ball.
Absolutely. I fully agree. If he can force his way to the line like Jimmy does, or half the way Jimmy does, where he can
Right.
just go get a foul, opens up so much more for him.
Right.
Four extra points on his points per game. I think his free throw shooting should be upped
Right.
if he's going to get the keys.
Big time. And yes, he was the former sixth man of the year, so I do expect him to continue being the hero that we need. Again, 11 games in, a lot more to work on, so we'll see where we stand come hopefully playoff time and not play in time, right?
let's not put that into the universe.
Exactly. All right, so our next game we're hosting as part of this 4-game homestand. We're hosting
Nice.
on Friday, I believe. Friday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday. Is it Thursday?
So today there's no games. Tomorrow is Thursday. Oh yeah. So
Thursday. It's Thursday. So yeah.
okay.
Next game we're hosting the Charlotte Hornets at home in the FTX Arena. Let me check something. At 7:30 p.m., Hornets are 3-8. Miami is 4-7. This game is only televised on Bias Sports Sun. Give me a quick thoughts on the Hornets team before we head out.
Yeah. Not entirely too worried. I think I am sort of. It's exactly against teams like this where we take it for granted and we're like, okay,
yeah,
it's the Hornets. Let's try some shit. Let's really try some cool things out, which I think is the time for this. We also play them again. So the NBA has been doing this thing where they have like the duos back to back. So I think that's a perfect opportunity where you try something out against one team. If it doesn't work, you get to try something else against the same team. So you have that control standard.
Yeah. So as you were saying, the Heat are hosting again the Hornets on Thursday, and then again on Saturday at 8:00. So just a quick update. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Suns game I might go to.
Oh, nice.
So I'm looking forward to that if I do. And so the Heat, just a quick update for everyone. The Heat are in a very uncomfortable spot at 4-7. We sit at the 12th seed, not that amazing. We have our top three shooters or players in this team is Butler 20.9, Hero 19.6, and Bam at 70.7. So this has just been like an intro to our first episode of The Flame that will air Tuesdays and or Thursdays once or twice per week, depending on our availability. I am your host, HeatCulture, Jeremy, and this is my team member, my awesome newest team member, Sahil Morali. And yeah, I mean, this is just an intro. So we're looking forward to a lot more episodes, hopefully with more team members and hopefully with future guests. Those are little surprises for you guys. But we're looking forward to a lot more Heat talk throughout the season, and just looking forward to an overall, hopefully, what should be a very fire season. This is
Awesome.
HeatCulture. Peace, guys.